But why did it take so long?
I tried, bro. This guy was in the zone. In the zone.
Oh my days.
Alright, yo, what's going on, people? You're now locked into the Goodman audio experience, and today we have Tolu, we have Ade, and myself, Demeji.
Can we start again and say T? Because I won't give it.
Here we go.
They've already heard it in the other
My brand
episode.
is T. My brand, but it was too late.
Keep it down. Keep it down.
Man, just
Anyway,
messing my brand, both of you, man.
anyway.
It is what it is, man.
Alright, people, so today we're going to be speaking about... Speaking about...
That's it. When I said start again, you didn't want to start again. So we'll keep it.
So yeah, today we're going to be talking about support circles and what they mean to us, and you know how they've helped us progress in whatever area we're in. So today, let's kick it off with Ade.
I was hoping you weren't going to. I'm not gonna lie.
Nah, I know you have some good stuff to say, bro.
But that's what I was thinking when the topic came up. I was thinking, do I have a support? My problem is I don't know how to ask for help, so I don't actually know who's around me that's willing to help me, because until things become, I guess, really bad. But one way I work around that, so I have I like working in teams. I like doing things in person and having to be there and doing the thing right there and then, and I use that to keep me in check. But so I guess the people that I do those things with would then be my support circle then. So that would probably be my support circle. And the way we support each other, I guess then it's interesting, because it's not directly to fight anything or to resist anything or to fight depression or to fight negativity. It's just because we have a common interest, and then coming together to work on that common interest also has these additional benefits around that. And then those additional benefits kind of cater to certain things as well. So you deal with loneliness because you're around people, but you're dealing with being able to get things off your mind because you're around people who think to the same depth as you. So it doesn't feel like you're thinking it alone. And then if you have compelling arguments, you have someone to do that mental jousting with, and you don't feel I'm just around people who are a certain way. And you have these different opinions as well to challenge yourself if you want to. So for me, my support circle's kind of formed around that, and now it's like family now. But I started this off by saying I don't think I have a support circle.
Bro, I know eventually you'll get there, bro. I trust you. So for me, myself, I have many circles of friends and even family as well. So people that check in on me, always making sure I'm good, and vice versa as well. So people that I will check in on, and through this, I'm able to, I guess, stay in connection with people. I don't speak to many people myself. I tend to keep a lot of things to myself, and I keep my circles very small because I like a higher concentration of quality friends and just people around me in general, rather than spreading myself so thin to the masses of people out there who a lot of them might not even care about me that much or have my best interest at heart. I prefer knowing that the few people that I have in my circle care for me and I care for them. So even my family, some of them will pop up every now and again to see how I'm doing my career, my mental health. They'll check on me and see if I am, in a good space mentally. There's been times when I've been in a very dark space, and not necessarily reached out to anyone, but they've, I don't know, kind of instinctively clocked it and made the move to see how I am doing and try and get me out of this, I guess, dark hole that I've been in. But I've got a few good friends who I can always count on, rely on, and I know that in any situation that I'm in, I'm never really alone. So for me, that's what my support system is. People who I can rely on and that can rely on me, and I know that there is nothing that I can't get through because I have a well-rounded group of people to lift me up when things get rough. I can hear my voice so much. I don't even know if I'm making sense.
Yeah, I guess actually, yeah, God.
No, I was going to see if I could hear my voice, but I don't know if I can. We're meant to hear it back. Or is this shit on?
I can hear your voice. Okay,
Alright, cool.
Yeah.
I don't even know what's the question. I'm playing. I think I have loads of people who have stood the test of time. Like friends, family. It's odd because I'm a giving person naturally. I would always give, and then I would find myself frustrated when I'm not getting that back. But then I would stop, and then I would stop, and then I would look back and be like, no, you know what? They've done this for me. They've done that. That person was a good friend. But I'm always that kind of person who's ready to cut anybody off if you violate me or you don't help.
Yeah.
But then sometimes you have to sit back and realize how much people have done for you and how much people have supported you. And when I literally deep it, I'm thinking people have been supporting me so much from I wouldn't even be where I was today if it wasn't for females, my female friends. The level of love and support that they've shown me is incredible. And then even with just my friends who are like my family, some I remember I was doing a shoot, and this was years ago, and my friend was like, yo, I'll drive you to Luton. So he's come to Dagenham to get me. He lives in Deptford. So Dartford to Deptford to now Dagenham to drive me to Luton, and then back again, and then back to drop the equipment. And then I look back and I thought, what kind of friend are you? And he's not a creative. He's a normal 9-to-5 office job, no passion in it, no similar interest, but that's just him supporting me. And I've got so many different friends like that. I remember even in drama school with my brothers, there might be a month where I couldn't pay or I had the term to pay. My brothers are paying for me and they're looking after me and stuff like that. And I'm just like, I have been supported so much and I just can't wait. I've got this thing. It's like, it'll be a birthday. I tell everybody to come round. They come round. I say, look under the table. And there's like 12 people in the room and they take out their Rolexes. And I say, I got you. I got you. Maybe 10, maybe 11. It depends on the price, innit? But I just want to be able to. It depends on the price. Some of them might have to share one, you know?
Oh my days.
That sprinkle of reality.
But for me, that's just, I just want to be able to give back to the people that have supported me. And also to apologize from where I've just been a diva and just had that moment of, you good?
You know what? That apology can start today, bro. How long was he late?
After 5 more minutes. After 5 more minutes. After 5 more minutes.
You arrived late in your Versace shades. Then you left again and asked for 2 minutes more.
I'm sorry, guys, for being late. Here's some Maltesers.
I said those are your Maltesers.
They're not mine.
Those are my Maltesers, bro.
You told me I apologize.
Yeah, there's no
Man,
stopping
them
it.
closer to you.
Man tried to apologize to you with your
my own Maltesers.
You're welcome.
Shocking team.
But yeah, it's just I think sometimes you always think support is just when you're going through dark times, but support is also acknowledging the people that are there when things are going well, and it's just people checking in or helping or doing whatever they're doing, especially when they don't have a shared interest as well. And that, I think that's just incredible, and that goes a long way, man. I think sometimes you don't realize it until you need people. Like, let's say it's a wedding day, or you're picking your groomsmen, and you start thinking, wait, this is how much you've supported me and been there for me. And I think we don't acknowledge how much, like, how many times do we wake up and just say thank you to somebody for no reason because of something that they've done? We don't do it. We don't even.
I do that shit.
Yeah.
I do that shit.
Just say thank you for no reason.
For no reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because for real. Sometimes I'll be sitting in my room and I'll just like be reflecting and be like, oh, this person actually did this. I haven't seen them in a while. Let me send them a message like, thanks, or thank you for being you.
Yeah.
And then just get on with the day. Have a good day.
Yeah.
Do you want to see proof?
Nah, I'm joking.
Okay,
I trust. I don't trust Daps though.
All right, cool. So obviously I've been drawn out now, innit? We're having some technical difficulties, so you guys don't worry. We'll be back to full capacity next episode. But in terms of what Ali just said, I definitely do that now. I think, obviously, to be fair, big shout out to Malik, because actually Malik is actually a big part of my support circle.
Why though?
Well, for one thing, I've known Malik for many years, since childhood, where he's my brother. That's how I regard him. He has helped me in many different ways, in terms of aspects of my personal growth, in terms of my fitness. Obviously, if you don't know about Malik, Team Bolo. If you know, you know, innit? Broly training. That's what I'm gonna say in it. If you know, you know. Broly training. That's what I'm gonna say in it. But in terms of aspects of my mindset towards things like business, certain aspects of my work ethic that I have now, he's definitely helped me a lot in that. My siblings are also a huge part of my support system. I think to a degree more than they realize, because I'm a bit difficult sometimes, innit? I'm a bit difficult sometimes, and I sometimes clash with my siblings. But it's genuinely all love, and I'd like to think that come rain, come shine, they know that if it comes down to it, I'm there. I love them to bits. A lot of the people that are in, if you're on my favorites section, yeah, on my phone, you're someone that is a part of my, on them, or you know them ones where your phone's on do not disturb, and you can allow certain people on your favorites to get through to you. If you can get through to me when I'm sleeping, and people know I love sleep. If you can get through to me in my sleep, yeah, I won't take me, you are one of my peoples. Absolutely. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna say on that. Don't ever try to draw me out like that again. Is it because I don't tell you that I miss you?
Does anyone have like an example of just unconditional support?
Unconditional support.
Yeah, do you know that one friend who's just never letting you down, or family member, or like a female, like a girlfriend or whatever?
I have no examples from female. From women. I have zero. I don't want to bang on. I said it's like it's a huge thing, but it's just a statement of facts that I have
The way
no.
you said it, none of them.
Nah,
All of them.
none of them. They're ops.
No, not even. I just don't have any. There's always a condition, which is I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but it's just a statement of facts. Even if the condition is theirs, it's like is their interest in you, and as long as that remains,
Yeah, but then that's still
it's still a condition.
it is, but it's still close to well, obviously you haven't said the example, so I can't actually say if it was close or not.
Because for me, it's binary, it's black and white. So it's either unconditional love or it's not. So for me, be close to unconditional love is good, it's great, it's manageable.
Okay, what's an example that was close?
I think for me, my dad. And that's because I feel like I could tell this guy I did anything and he'll just be like, he'll be honest. I think that's his saving grace. He's honest, even if with his own flaws. There's been things in the past where I've been told, oh yeah, this about your dad. And I brought up the courage to ask him directly to him, like, you know what, this is what I'm hearing. What are you actually doing? Like, what's actually going on? And he's been honest. So for me, it's like, okay, cool. But that laid the foundation for honesty. And then when you give each other space to be honest, you can then see what's really going on. And then because the condition isn't to impress anymore. So it's not like, I feel shame. I have to hide this thing. I still feel shame in doing the thing. And that's better. Because then that negative feelings attached to that negative thing, that's going to help you fight it. But when you're afraid and you feel that shame to go to people, then you're not going to go to them. So for me, that would be my example. And the reason I would say is that, or the closest, because even with that, I feel like there are conditions, but they're just so distant. I'm probably the type of person I am. I'm never really going to break his conditions, but he has such like a wide space for like you to actually go through reality. That's how I'll describe it. So it's like my conditions aren't the things that might happen to you or the things you might go through as a cause of you going through reality, like failing, negative things happening, you doing bad things, you being in hard situations and making wrong choices. Those things are reality. And that's not my condition. Like, I'll love you and be on your side even when all that stuff is happening. That's the closest for me. Yeah, like he's a good guy, man. He's a cool guy. Like,
So you love him a lot. That's good.
yeah, he's all right. But in terms of women, nah.
I'm gonna unpack that one later.
I'm ready.
Off the camera.
Unconditional, without a doubt, my older brother. Yeah, definitely my older brother. My older brother's amazing, and I think that's primarily because he's so damn patient with me. He was so damn patient with me for so long, and it's so funny, right? Because when me and him were kids, me and him didn't get along. No, we didn't. I nearly gave him a concussion once. He nearly dislocated my shoulder. Yeah, we didn't like each other when we were younger. I think.
And then how did that change?
Do you know what? I think life experiences on my part. I think growth on his part, on him sitting like in terms of himself as an individual. My brother is someone that is very principled. He gets that. We get that from our dad in the sense of let your yes be a yes and your no be a no. And if your no changes for a yes or a yes changes to a no, then let there be a justifiable good reason behind it. Like I've said in previous episodes, I was definitely a bit of a little shit growing up. And I think why me and him didn't get along at first is because the way I'd always ended, because I didn't meet my older brother straight away, innit? He was in Nigeria, so I was born here, and he was in Nigeria at the time. So eventually I did meet him. I think all the expectations I had of an older brother, because obviously I'm essentially an only child because all my siblings are in Nigeria, so I'm pretty much by myself. So I don't have anyone that's close enough to my age group to actually be around. Do you get what I'm saying? So now I'm thinking, rah, I got a big bro, lit. I got a playmate. And I think, and he said it to me, he said that I used to irritate him. And he's 5 years older than me, innit? But he fully said to me that, that back then I used to irritate him because he was just like, why is this kid so energetic? Like, what's his problem? Do you know what I'm saying? And we didn't like each other at first. He covered for me. He's helped me out in so many different situations. Like, one of the reasons why I'm so very open and honest with my mates in terms of telling them what they need to hear is because my brother's that way with me.
But then when was this moment of like clarity? When did it transition from, I guess, animosity to this, what you're describing?
I think the dynamic changed. Like I said earlier, I think the dynamic to a large degree changed when, as I got older and I started to go through my own set of experiences, and I was kind of, and again I think the older I got with my siblings, I think I placed all of my siblings on a certain pedestal just because they were all older and bigger than me and so on and so forth, and they seemed to have life sorted and rare tear. And when I just started to actually see them more as people, I actually started to understand a lot more as to why they were so on to me about things about like education and staying out of trouble and trying to stay on the straight and narrow and rare tear. And I think with him, I view my eldest sister as like my second mum. And I think to a degree, I still struggle to get her out of that second mum pedestal, just also see her as my big sis. And obviously, first sibling, head of us and rare tete and this, that. And sometimes I clash with my sister. But a big part of that is, I think, sometimes the way I speak, sometimes with no filter, rubs people the wrong way. And I never do it intentionally. It's just because because obviously my siblings are older than me, so the way I speak to my mates when they do or say things that I don't agree with, I sometimes take that same kind of speak to my older siblings. And it's a bit difficult at times because I'm also significantly younger. I don't see, one thing with me is that I don't really do that whole thing of, if you're 2 years older than me, I'll call you uncle or auntie. I just see you as my sister, and we're all adults now. But I think sometimes I don't express that well with my siblings because I always had this view of them in my head as, they're way older than me, so I can't really talk to them. And sometimes I feel like, you know, they don't really understand me and all this and that. And I'm really working on getting myself out of that mindset because of how much they mean to me and because of what they've done for me unconditionally over the years in so many different aspects. Like, for real, unconditional love from people like other than my siblings. Like I said, people that are in my favorites. Nah, big man thing. Like on different occasions when I've been through certain situations that I couldn't speak to my siblings about because I felt like they wouldn't really understand or they wouldn't necessarily tell me what I want to hear to my liking. I would speak to my friends. I've had a myriad of different issues that I've spoken to Los about. Sorry. Goodman Malik. Plenty. And he's always done what he can to give me sound advice. And obviously he'll give me advice based on his own subjective opinion to a degree. Do you get what I'm saying? But he's always been there for me. And I would like to think vice versa. I've declared it for you now, you know, so don't embarrass me because you know it's true. No, I got you. But yeah, like, and obviously I always do my best to be there for my peoples as well. Like, as they show out for me, I'm going to show out for them. Obviously, just a quick plug, to my boy Scovs, yeah, my big brody. Actually, he's my little brody because technically I'm older, but that's bro, innit? But Scovio, Bear, big shout out to you because you've been with me through thick and thin. And again, me and him didn't really like each other at first, but now me and him are like 5 and 6. Follow Scovy's Kitchen on Instagram. Follow Scovy's Kitchen on Twitter.
Ain't nobody know how to spell Scovy.
Don't watch that. Don't watch that. Man's
I'm like, how?
But yeah, shameless plugging it.
G-H.
G-H. Man said Scovy with a G.
Yeah. But yeah, I remember having one moment of just clarity, like the first moment where I realized that people have supported me and they were supporting me, and it was actually a thing. And I remember I was 16. And I was in college, and there was a big gang fight where someone got stabbed in the college. So then what's happened now is 6 of us were, I guess, on final warnings. And then so we've got our final warnings, and then you're suspended, but you're not kicked out yet. And there was this man called John Davis. Oh my goodness, he supported the hell out of me. This guy vouched for me. Even though I was there, he said that I was not. He put his job on the line to make sure I stayed in college and finished. Because obviously that was, if I didn't finish college, my mum would have killed me, then killed herself. Like, it was that big. So then I remember just, you know, when they get you on that prayer and fast, you gotta be praying, fasting in that week. You know, you can't come back and make sure you're doing everything properly. So I was praying, and then whilst I was even though I was forced to pray and fast, I started thinking, wait, you know what? God is really real, you know. I'm starting to get into this. I started reading books, started reading the Bible, started reading this book called Heaven is So Real. And then, I got back into the college, but everyone else got kicked out. So out of 6 of us, I was the only person that was allowed back in. So even then, they told me, you can't be late. You can't get in trouble in class. You can't talk. You can't, so many conditions.
Can't do this, can't do that.
And I thought I was doing well. And there was, my favorite teacher, Anita, she got me. So I'm in the class sitting down thinking everything's going well. And it was like a month in, and she was like, supposed to have, a disciplinary or whatever downstairs. And I said, why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you give me a heads up? Like, you could have warned me as soon as you found out. You're one of my favorite teachers. She was like, she can't put a job on the line or whatever. So I walked downstairs and my mum's there. I said, yo, these people set me up. And Mr. John Davis wasn't there. He removed himself because he said he would have been biased. So it was just me and these 3 white people. And they're talking, telling me, you've been doing this. You've been, you know, missing lessons, which was true. You've been talking in class, which was true. You've been disturbing, so many things. And I said, yo, these teachers have been snitching on me. So they said, what have you got to say for yourself? And I've just got this thing where it's like, I'm not going to go out like a pussy. So I said, it is what it is. It is what it is.
Sound like that Denzel moment in Training Day.
No, it was. It really was. I said, all right then. So if I'm getting kicked out, I'm going out with a bang. So anyways, like an idiot. And my mum's there. You know when you can feel someone's heart breaking, so you don't look left. I said, I'm not turning my head. Then they were like, okay, anything else to say? And then it was like my mouth just went quiet. Like words couldn't come out. Then my mum started talking. To this day, I don't know what she said. And then I'm like, okay, cool. So we've gone out now. My mum's not said a word to me. She's just thinking, this idiot. He had one job. So we walked back in now, and they were like, look, you've come in here. You've not shown any improvement. You've not even shown that you wanted to be in college. And we was going to kick you out. I said, was? I said, oh, what? You know when you can't even contain your smile? They said if it wasn't for what your mum said and what your mum blah, 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 then, you know, we would have thrown you out. But you've only got a couple of weeks or months left. Like, we're not going to do it. So just make sure you keep your head down. I said, all right, cool, I got you. So we're walking. As we're leaving, my mum's not said anything. Get to the station now, because obviously I got to go back to college. I walked her to the station and she's like, you've got football. I'm going to buy you some boots and stuff. And that was it. The last word she said, and I thought, okay, all right, cool. Maybe this God guy is really real. So then we had football now. So I've gone to football and on a coach, I think there's about 60 or 66 people. I can't remember the amount. So we're coming back. Bearing in mind, I've not told anybody what's been going on. So I've just been dealing with it myself, just being a guy, innit? So we're on the coach, there's about 60 of us, and we're just talking. And then I'm telling them about Mr. John Davis, telling them about my mum. Then I start telling them what happened. And obviously, when the person got stabbed, they were trying to blame it on so-and-so and whatever. And then obviously I had my disciplinary, nearly got kicked out. Start telling them about praying and fasting and then what my mum was doing. Then I started crying. Yo, just uncontrollable tears. And anyone who knows me knows I don't cry. That was the last time I've cried. That's how long. And I'm just there. And then the thing that pissed me off, I couldn't even stop talking. It's just like crying. And I'm like, my mum this. And let me tell you about Jesus. And John Davis this. And I couldn't stop talking. And that was the moment where... I wish I was crying like that. It wasn't even... You know when you're crying and you're overwhelmed with the spirit? Yeah. It's not normal tears. It's like proper...
It's a lot,
like,
man.
It's coming down, like just streams, flooding everywhere. And you try to turn away. You can't even turn away. You're talking. You're compelled to talk. And everyone's shut up, just listening. And this is football, boys. So you already know football banter. Yeah. So if you're moving nuts, everyone's going to stick it on you the next day. So anyways, I just remember just having just that moment of just clarity, of just the support from my mum and John Davis, and just keeping me in education and allowing me to obviously finish it. And just being there for me to the point where it brought me to tears. And from then on, I was just like, yeah, I'm always going to sort of acknowledge that these are my friends and these are my family and these are the people that no matter what, even if we fall out or whatever, I will never say anything bad because you've always been there for me. And like even now, it's still difficult for me to make new friends because I'm so content with the friends that I have. But
you know what? That's like the last thing you said. I fully resonate with that because for me, as you guys know from the previous episode, I've moved quite a lot. I've changed schools quite a lot and moved different areas. So I've never been able to build a solid group of friends. I don't have friends that I've grown up with through primary school, secondary school, who like I can call like my long life or childhood friends. I don't have that. The friends that I've made have been, well, partially temporary and mostly in my older years. So through even kind of secondary school, more uni, and through work. Like hearing that's beautiful to me because, you know, it feels like you've had and you've felt like you've belonged and you've had that, you felt safe in that aspect. Whereas me, I've always gone through life with like a lone wolf mentality. So I always make sure that I'm good. And in any situation I'm in, no matter how shitty, as long as I can get myself out of it and keep moving forward, then I'm all right. Of course, I'd like to have that solid group of long-term friends who, you know, they're like your family, innit? You don't see them as friends, they're like your family. You've been through shit together, and the relationship has you've got like a strong bond because of that time and the circumstances you've been through together and all that shit and all that stuff and all that stuff. But yeah, as I was saying, with the whole lone wolf mentality thing, is something that I'm trying to get rid of, and especially being in a relationship, rather than just thinking about myself, I need to incorporate a vice versa mentality. So whatever I want to do, I always got to think of the other person.
Mm.
Similar to even just platonic friendships, I got to think, okay, if I'm going to do this, how can it affect this other person? How can I help this other person grow, rather than just thinking about myself and constantly being in survival mode? It's something that, even looking back in my family, I was always known as the quiet one, the one who would kind of separate themselves from the group, and I've always been an introvert, and as I've gotten older, I've seen it more of as a problem than anything else, because I limit myself so much, and I push people away when really I could be a lot warmer and more accommodating. And these are the things that have only occurred to me as people close to me, or I don't know. I feel like as I'm getting older, I can be more honest with people, and people can be more honest with me. So my faults, areas that I lack in, the people closest to me feel comfortable enough to highlight them, and I'm at an age where I'm able to acknowledge them and try and work on them. Obviously, a lot of these habits are lifelong, so it's almost like don't want to say an addiction, but it's ingrained in you, and it takes a lot of unlearning and relearning and conditioning to break out of these things. But of course, you need to feel like you're in a safe space to maybe dissect these things and work on them, and feel that maybe good will come out of it. Maybe I'm rambling.
I've been thinking this question for a bit. What's the criteria for you guys as circles? Like, if you, in your mind, if you had to think like, this is the stuff that you need to have to be around me, or this is like a list of things that people who have made it to that point have in common. Like, what would that be?
I think for me, it's definitely acts of service. Similar to what Daps was saying, I can be difficult. I can be, oh my goodness, I can put you, it's like I'm trying to test you to be my friend. You've got to pass some sort of test. I remember I had a boy. I remember I had a boy, and then one day I said, today we'll see if you're my boy. And I annoyed.
Today is the day.
No, but
Are you God? Like, what?
But when I looked back, I thought, what a dickhead I was. I remember taking off his hat, pushing him, doing everything just to annoy him. And then he didn't.
You're a dickhead, bro.
What the fuck? I was. But then when I look back at my friends that are there now, they have tolerated so much of my shit. Similar to Malik now, obviously he's making noise in the background. So we're shooting a short film, and obviously I'm there, being an actor, and I wrote the script.
That's why he's wearing the Versace sunglasses, guys.
You changed, man.
He's
You changed.
Anyways,
You changed, big fella.
always humble. All glory to God. So we're there now. We're just chilling, and Mr. Malik has said, "What was it? Don't turn off the camera, or the microphone." That was it. Don't turn the microphone off or whatever. For me, I've turned it off. In my mind, it's your job to remind me to turn it back on. So anyways, we do a whole take.
What?
And we do a whole take now. We do a whole take.
Tell him the truth. We actually had to do 2 takes.
Yeah, no, I'm going to get that. Let me land.
These were like,
Let me land.
till this day, yeah, we never recaptured that energy.
Let me land. So we've done the take now. The take is finished. Sick take. And I said, oh my gosh, like my mic, it's not recorded. Malik, yeah, he gave me that look. He said, oh, today, I said, all right, we'll see with my boys. I said, this is the test. And then he's like, oh my gosh, he's getting angry. Oh, what's your problem? I told you, boom, boom, boom. I said, yo. Like,
I was like, why don't you listen to me?
So obviously he's getting angry. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, cool. We're going to see where this anger, like where it goes. I'm going to, play, devil's advocate. I'm going to be annoying. So all I remember saying is, you're affecting my energy.
Oh.
He said it to me, and I literally paused like, it was such a curveball. You know when like you're the victim, and at that moment, yeah, I was like, you know what, let's fight. Because I said, let's fight. This guy said, you're affecting my energy. Bro, we had been shooting for
draining
about,
my battery.
I think that was like 7 hours. We got that. We started shooting at 9 a.m. It was 4 p.m. Like, you know when you haven't even eaten properly, like, it's like...
Your breath is smelling.
Yeah. Everyone's got breath, everything.
My energy was affected.
This guy said his energy was affected. I dropped my camera.
But again, to answer your question, acts of service and patience, because like I said, you're going to tolerate a lot of nonsense, but I will always give you my love, like, unconditionally. Like, I'm there for him and he knows it. But I will test you, and once you pass that test, you're my dog.
Wow.
But it's not intentional. I'm not testing them on purpose. It's just me. It's my flaws. I'm still working.
It sounds kind of on purpose.
It's very, very clear that T, you're an up. You are an up. Like,
I'm actually not though.
Nah.
Malik, am I an up?
He's an up that we love. That's all. An up is an up.
I'm
walks like
always
a
on
up.
your side. Like, I'm
Talks
always
like a
on-
up.
I'm the greatest friend you can have.
Yeah, I'm sure you are. Anyways, what was the question again?
Like, what would be the criteria for your
Criteria.
circle?
All right. So for me, I think one of the main things is that anyone in my circle, they are true to their word. They say they're gonna do something, they do it. If they are about what they say. You know what I mean? Because I have to be able to trust them, their actions, and their judgment. I think just people who I think patience is very important too, because I'm very hard to deal with as well. I'm not the easiest person to be friends with, and
That's true.
Now the spotlight is on you.
That's true.
What do you lot do? It seems like everyone's not easy to be friends with. Like,
well, no one's
I'm
perfect,
really
innit?
easy to be friends with.
So am I, to be honest.
Like even when I completely disagree with stuff, I can still do it in a way where I'm gonna be completely honest, but we'll still be friends after.
You know what it is? Sorry, I've just jumped.
Let's see
Put the
what it
camera
is.
down. You know what I've realized with a lot of friendship, there's always one thing. And if you're around them long enough, it will irritate you. So, like, you see him acting like a prick. And when I say him, I'm talking about T. Yeah. Acting like a diva. He doesn't do it enough for me to complain. But I know that's there. So, I now actively avoid that type of clash, anything.
You know what's interesting?
And
me
and his communication is very clear. There's no like
ambiguity.
I knew from that moment then, yeah. Like when he said to me, "Oh, you should have told me to turn on the mic," I was like, I actually took accountability. Like, okay, you know what? I will never ever assume that you will know better or you will do better. I'm gonna be like, "Yep, have you done it?" You know what I mean? Like that's how I'm gonna be. So that could never ever happen again. But I know, like with most people, there's always one thing is if you're around them enough to be like, it annoys me, blah blah. And usually when it's people in your like friendship circles, you'll see it more than ever. So like for example, Daps, he has no filter, and like sometimes sometimes you don't need the whole cussing everybody like every minute. Like, bro, I'm just telling you something. If you don't like it, don't like it. But with him, it's like you're attacking him. You know what I mean? But I accept him for that. It's not enough for me to be like, fuck off. I can't. You know what I mean? I'll still speak to him daily. So I just think if you're around people enough, eventually it's that one moment, he will know you. It's like,
you know what though? But I'm always myself unapologetically, and he's always, even down to my food choices, I can tell it. He's always like, "Oh my gosh, you're so difficult." It was just that day. It's because he was working.
Yeah.
And that's what made it funny. But it's always the same.
Yeah.
I can't even eat anything that I want to eat in peace without him challenging me. Even now when I said nuts, he said, "Peanuts? You don't eat peanuts?"
Unless you're allergic.
Like,
anyone that doesn't like peanuts.
Let me live. But everything. Then he's now ketchup and plantain. But it's just that. I think sometimes when you're always yourself, and it could be, it's not for everybody.
But that's the thing. So even with that example, saying that there's potentially one thing, then in my mind, then you are easy to get on with. There's just one thing.
Yeah, I think
Like,
everyone.
is
I
an
think
understatement.
everyone to some
it's just one
degree. If you're in like if it's the friendship circle, usually it's people that you could just whatever they do wrong, they don't do it bad enough for them to be able to not work with, like, be able to be social with them. I think
Unless it's
No, I get what you're
Yeah.
saying. I'm just saying that because I can say the same thing. There's even with the people that are close to me, or even when I'm making new friends or that type of stuff, it's very easy, even though there's still that one thing. Like my thing is messages. I don't reply.
I'm the same.
So and everyone does the whole throws tantrums, whatever. But because it's just one thing, and in every other avenue, I try my best to deliver. So then there's you are easy to get on with. That one thing is jarring, but yeah,
if it's just one thing.
yeah. If it's 25 things, then maybe
You're the problem.
Yeah, like,
For me, I'd say I'm easygoing, but yeah, so I'm easygoing, but I wouldn't say I'm easy to get along with because I don't know how everyone views me and the way I operate and stuff. You know what I mean? Fucking hell, my mind just went blank.
Man just
you know,
confessed
should I
his
answer my
flaws.
question?
Then it was like, wait, you know what?
As-
Actually, I am a bit difficult.
I think recently I've been trying to work on myself, and like I said, some of my flaws have been highlighted to me, and I'm trying to improve in various ways. Are you all right there, Daps? Everything good at home? You good? Okay. Yeah, we can carry on again. So yeah, I've been looking into actually, have any of you guys heard of this astronomy character explanation thing?
Oh, the like
You
finding
guys-
your rising, your house, and all that stuff.
Yeah, something like that.
Rising sun, rising moon.
The Lucozade is in retrograde. I know them things.
You don't believe in all of those?
So this is the
This is a conversation for another
Absolutely
topic
not.
because I'll unpack it. And
but
You know what?
yeah,
Okay,
but go on with what you were
All
going
right,
to say.
so I think it's actually mad how it dice. Well, for me anyway, I think it's crazy how it kind of dissects your character, and you know, it kind of aligns things in a way where I don't think it's just general. So some of the things that I'm reading and hearing in these, getting in these readings, they resonate with me so much. Even stuff from my past. For me, a lot of the time it will say how I'm very loyal and very once I put my mind on something, I'm very set and I'm a man of my word and whatever. But some of my downfall lies within. I can't remember it too well, but it was so accurate, and I felt it triggered me a little bit. I felt attacked, but it kind of excited me because I saw an area where, I saw plenty of areas where I can improve on, and I think just the idea of improving and getting better, it's like you can never stop.
would you say that's part of your criteria?
Yes, I always want to get better. I always want to keep moving forward. I don't want to, like, the feeling of being stagnant and not moving in any direction it's almost crippling for me. And I think that is part of my lone wolf mentality that I have, where I just want to keep moving forward. I'm not bothered about what's happening around me. As long as I'm moving forward, then I'm happy or even satisfied. But the whole astronomy thing, we're gonna go into that in another episode. It's been a good one, guys, and you've been with me, myself, Dimeji, Tolu, and Ade. T and Ade. You've been locked into the Goodman audio experience. Thanks for listening, guys. Don't forget to use the discount code GPOD1 for 10% off on your Goodman products. Thanks again, and we'll catch you on the next episode. Peace.